Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. Today, or I understand maybe a few hours ago from now, the Criterion Collection on its website made its announcement with regard to those titles that it plans to release later in the year, December 2021. So if you are interested, please check out the Criterion Collection website directly for the specific information, the technical specifications, the specifications about supplemental materials that are planned as of now, the cover art designs, etc. Please check out the Criterion Collection website directly for more of that information, more detailed information. But for now, my friends, if it's okay, let us talk about these titles, or the announcement of these titles. And as with everything else, as we know, when the actual article or item arrives in the mail, that'll give us the opportunity to explore it. Maybe there might have been some changes to the specifications or supplemental materials that's happened before, etc. So when we actually explore it, then that'll give us further ability and chance to talk about it and discuss and indeed explore. So maybe our opinions or views might change upon that occasion. But for now, let us talk about, say, our initial reactions and impressions about this particular set of titles. And it is indeed a very interesting set of titles. And it is for December, and I will get to that also later in this discussion. So the first title here, according to the site, is scheduled for release December 7th, 2021, One Night in Miami, Regina King. Then on December 14th, 2021, The Learning Tree, the Gordon Parks work. Also on December 14th, 2021, The Red Shoes, Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. And so I will speak about those in a moment. So the first work is scheduled for release December 7th, 2021. This is for spine number 1106, One Night in Miami, the work by Regina King from the year 2020. So I have not seen this film yet. And so this is going to give me a wonderful opportunity to explore it. I do know that I have seen the trailer, and in fact it is available where I am in terms of Amazon Prime access. So perhaps I'll try to watch it before this particular release. I'll try to watch it as many times as possible, in fact. And I've heard a number of wonderful things about it. I have heard, I understand that, or based on what I understand, the premise of the plot is this is very fascinating, and it seems to be dealing with a lot in terms of history and the dynamics of such. So if my understanding is correct, then well, in any event, even if my understanding is not correct, I'm looking forward to this very much indeed. A new exploration, a new discovery of this work by Regina King from 2020. And of course, it is, I understand it was a work that was available through streaming, through Amazon Prime, but now it's finding life in this other form, which is this physical media form from Criterion. So that is also an interesting type of a continuation of a trend of sorts in terms of Criterion and its efforts at trying to focus also on streaming services works, in a manner of speaking. Also its focus on contemporary works, because it is a label, as we know, that calls itself a label focusing on classic and contemporary works. So, I am very much always excited when Criterion releases these works, because it gives me the opportunity to explore them, and Criterion has provided such opportunities, many opportunities in the past for that, and so this looks like yet another one. So I'm very much looking forward to this. And the list of the special edition features, the supplemental features, Looks very intriguing, incredibly intriguing indeed. So once again, when this article, this Blu-ray article, or this physical media item or article arrives in December, let us explore it together, you and I, and we can talk further about this work. One Night in Miami from Regina King, again scheduled for release December 7th, 2021. And to continue on, we have scheduled for release on December 14th, 2021. This is from the filmmaker Gordon Parks, and this is called The Learning Tree. So Gordon Parks' work is in the Criterion collection with this film. This is scheduled for spine number 1107. The work is described as being here from 1969. So this is very exciting. This is very, very exciting indeed. I am so thrilled that this work is going to be given the Criterion Collection treatment, as it were. I recall seeing this in school, in fact, on VHS. Yes, it was VHS, and it was really quite a remarkable moment, and I feel so fortunate to have been able to watch it at that time when I was able to, at that point in my life. And at the time I didn't know necessarily, I didn't comprehend necessarily the artistic stature and scope of Gordon Parks. And so my discovery of other Gordon Parks works actually came a little bit later in my life, when I was in my later teens or early 20s or so. And then that grew, and then it was around that period that I realized of the connection between Gordon Parks and this work that I had seen when I was younger, which is The Learning Tree. And so that was really that was one of those wow moments in my own early cinema journey life. And so this film, The Learning Tree, is itself, it's remarkable. It is remarkable, and so I haven't seen it recently, and so I really am looking forward to this, to see it again, because I'm remembering now all this in terms of the work and the kind of impact that it had, and now realizing the absolute brilliant breadth of scope of the artistry and genius of Gordon Parks. And so this is another opportunity to explore this work and to celebrate Gordon Parks, and to engage with this on yet many other levels, as Criterion is so able to provide. So wonderful news. This is absolutely wonderful news. I cannot wait to be able to explore this. And again, it looks like we have a number of supplemental materials, as per the custom with these Criterion releases, a number of documentaries as well, a lot in fact, so as well as oh my goodness, wonderful. I'm sorry, please check out the Criterion website directly for the specific information. And again, when the article, the Blu-ray article or the item arrives, please let us have that opportunity to talk about it, you and I, and explore this further. But this is truly wonderful. So I forgot to mention for the other film, One Night in Miami. So it looks like for The Learning Tree, this is going to be available on Blu-ray 1 disc or DVD version 2 discs. And also for the earlier discussion we had about One Night in Miami, according to the website, it looks like it's going to be available in a Blu-ray edition, 1 disc, or a DVD edition, 2 discs. So we have the Blu-ray version, the Blu-ray only version, or the DVD only version for One Night in Miami or The Learning Tree, and The Learning Tree, I should say. So, but but I am so excited. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this. So once again, for December 14th, 2021, Gordon Parks' work, The Learning Tree. And then also, for December 14th, 2021. We have a work. This is the Michael Powell, Emmerich Pressburger film, which is already in the collection. As we know, it's by number 44. And this is the work which is called The Red Shoes. The Red Shoes it's one of those great classics. It has it all. It's a drama. It's sort of a psychological love story. It's like a quasi fairy tale or fable made real or manifest in real world metaphor, or perhaps I should have said that in the reverse. It's a real world story set forth in the context of fable or fairy tale metaphor, or perhaps the other way is apropos, who knows. In any event, it is also very colorful, it's very vibrant, it's very alive, it's also very dark, and it's very brooding, and it's very complex, much like the output and filmography and content of the works, Powell and Pressburger works. So this is one of the absolute classics, masterpieces in a collection or a body of work from these filmmakers that is filled to the brim with classics and masterpieces. So The Red Shoes, it's already available, there is the Blu-ray edition, and then there's the DVD edition. But as we know, recently Criterion did make its announcement in terms of what it described as being its first slate of 4K releases. And so The Red Shoes, if I recall correctly, was one of the titles included in that initial type of announcement from Criterion. So this is therefore continuing on that line of the releases of this initial grouping, initial slate. So The Red Shoes is coming here. So already you can get the Blu-ray and DVD edition. That's my understanding. The Blu-ray only edition or the DVD only edition. But my understanding, therefore, is that this 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo will be made available on this date in December. So that's my understanding. At least that's my reading of the interpretation of the website. Sometimes it's tough for me to get these details correct. So if I get this or any other details incorrect, please correct me, and I apologize for my error. But in any event, that's what it looks like to me. And incidentally, the suggested retail price for the 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo is, according to the website, suggested retail price or SRP $49.95 US dollars, but that is now there's a line through it, and it says above that on the website $39.96. So whether, I'm not sure what price will be carried over into other third-party sellers, etc. Will it be the suggested retail price of $49? Perhaps, who knows? Maybe this will get marked down even further if there is a sale, which I hope happens very soon in whatever venue. So in any event, check out the website directly for more information, at least in terms of pricing, as Criterion would have it, at least on its site, and therefore I understand through its Criterion web store. But please check that out directly if you are interested in that particular element of it. And then when we look at the special features, which, as I say, you can check out in the website directly, we have it's the combo pack in terms of the 4K UHD plus Blu-ray, which we have seen in the previous planned Criterion 4K releases. So it looks like here it says in the 4K UHD edition, 4K digital transfer from the 2009 restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. And then it says in the 4K UHD edition, one 4K UHD disc of the film presented in Dolby Vision HDR, and one Blu-ray with the film and special features. And then it has the listing of the Blu-ray and DVD edition's special features below that. So if you're interested in a further exploration of that, or if you already have the Red Shoes on Blu-ray, anyway, in any event, whatever situation you are in, maybe this is news that you will make you want to purchase this, maybe not. Again, it's up to you in terms of your own approach with regard to your viewing needs, your way of consuming media, and the equipment and technology that you need and rely upon in order to have your viewing experiences in terms of watching cinema. So as I say, for those who are into the new format, this is something, of course, to consider. If you are not, then we already have the current options of Blu-ray and the DVD, Blu-ray only and DVD only. So this is this is a very interesting set of news indeed, in terms of, again, putting the spotlight once again on this wonderful film, The Red Shoes. So it's another opportunity to think about this again, to talk about this again. So maybe when this title arrives in December, that'll give us yet again another opportunity to talk about this film. We have spoken about this film, I think, on this channel before, but it's always wonderful to talk again about The Red Shoes. So let's do that, if that's okay, when it does arrive. So. But again, for more information, please check out the website directly. And according to the website right now, that is it. So we have these 3 titles for December. So a number of things to say, I think, at least just my initial impression. It might seem, relatively speaking, like a light month in terms of the quantity of titles for December, and so that's certainly the case, and I always have to be reminded of this myself, because I forget, and some friends of mine who are much better in terms of their Criterion release history, they always remind me, which is usually December is quote-unquote a type of light month anyway. And so this is probably following that trend, of course, although, we will always watch the Criterion website in case there is another announcement of something, who knows. But December is usually a light month, and so it doesn't surprise me in that way that we don't have any further releases in the second half of the month. It's only the 7th and the 14th, and nothing after that, at least as far as the current announcements. So that isn't for any, in that way, I don't see it as any type of sign or signal of anything. It's just, oh, this is another light month of December that we might have seen in past Criterion release years, etc. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, too, is one of the things that was kind of maybe something to wonder about is how Criterion would approach the DVD format in terms of how it's now trying to approach the new 4K format. And so there was maybe concern or some possibility or maybe some kind of speculation based on its announcements itself that maybe Criterion might be starting to maybe wind down its focus on DVD. And I'm not sure of the answer yet. And in fact, this announcement today doesn't give me any reason to think that it is, in fact, winding down DVD. I mean, in fact, maybe the opposite's true. It's still keeping the DVD format as it currently stands, in terms of the Blu-ray only and the DVD only releases of One Night in Miami and The Learning Tree. So, and then, so in that way, it seems like we have the DVD format still in play, and so that's very great news. That's very great news. Now, I'm a strong supporter of this format, the DVD format. I think it is very important, very important, and so I think it's good to have this option open and to have it available. And it's still a very prominent format that's relied upon by many people. And so I think it's something to hopefully that can be maintained as long as it can. But I think what we will have to keep in mind, of course, is how Criterion will then handle its new titles that will be on the 4K format, because we've seen in the past that those new titles don't seem to be getting any corresponding DVD-only release. So that's the issue. At least as far as I see it. So maybe we will see those new titles in the 4K format handled in that way, but maybe that means ultimately that there is no other effect when it comes to those non-4K titles or the already existing titles that are just getting additional 4K options right? As is in the case of Mulholland Drive before, or now in the case of the Red Shoes. And so those, if I recall correctly, Mulholland Drive still had the DVD option, correct? And as does the Red Shoes now. So I think in that case, actually, let me just check right now. I'm on the site, so I just want to make sure that I have those details correct. And so if it's just taking, yes, I'm looking at the site right now, the Criterion site, and indeed, yes, as we had discussed, Mulholland Drive, which is the current standing title, is also getting an additional option of the 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo, but it still stands in terms of the Blu-ray option and the DVD only option. So then that is a currently existing title getting additional 4K treatment options. That is the case also for the Red Shoes, but for those new emerging titles that are getting 4K treatment, we didn't see the DVD only option. So now that is still, I think, a standing issue, and so we will see going forward what this means for the format. Hopefully it means nothing. Hopefully it means that everything will be as is and as long as possible, but we shall see. But in any event, still, as far as that format goes, this is great news, I think, for everyone. For anyone who is interested in this format, it is still ongoing in terms of Criterion's efforts. So that's great news for those physical media enthusiasts. For those others who aren't interested in the format, still we have many options available. The same options available, but just in the current Blu-ray only or DVD only format. So that's still great news as well. Plus we have the emerging new titles, The Learning Tree and One Night in Miami. And I haven't seen One Night in Miami, so this is a great opportunity for me as well. So I'm looking forward to that immensely. And then it's the end of the year. So this is, if that means no more titles after the Red Shoes or after the 14th of December, then that will be the end of the year. So that's very great indeed. But of course, we will keep our eye on the website itself, and maybe if there are any updates prior to that, we shall see, of course, and let's talk about it at that time. But if not, I think this is a great way to end, and we will try to celebrate that ending by talking about these titles and exploring them when they arrive in the mail. So, but what do you think, my friends? I would love to hear your thoughts and comments about this. This is very interesting news, as always, from Criterion. So please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now. And so until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Thank you so much, as always, for your time. I very much appreciate it. Stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.